back at it again, and we have some somewhat breaking news that we need to discuss. But there's something about this entire situation that most people aren't even talking about. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you are new. If you would like to help me out even further with this YouTube algorithm too, watch this video to the very end. It helps out tremendously to get these videos out to more and more folks, all right? I would greatly appreciate it. And with that being said, let's dive in.
The walls, as we have been telling you, are closing in on President Joe Biden. Earlier today, the House Speaker, Kevin McCarthy, officially now called for a formal impeachment inquiry over the president's role in his family's shady business dealings. Take a look.
We know that bank records show that nearly $20 million in payments were directed to the Biden family members and associates through various shell companies. Even a trusted FBI informant has alleged a bribe to the Biden family. Biden used his official office to coordinate with Hunter Biden's business partners about Hunter's role in Burisma, a Ukrainian energy company. Despite these serious allegations, it appears that the president's family has been offered special treatment by Biden's own administration, treatment that not otherwise would have received if they were not related to the president. These are allegations of abuse of power, obstruction, and corruption, and they warrant further investigation by the House of Representatives. That's why today I am directing our House committee to open a formal impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden.
The Speaker then sent a letter to fellow lawmakers after his remarks following up on the announcement, confirming that they will have a conference meeting on Thursday about this inquiry. Now, predictably, the White House immediately dismissed McCarthy's announcement, with spokesman Ian Sams from the White House counsel's office claiming Republicans have found no evidence that Biden did anything wrong, before calling the inquiry, quote, the extreme politics at its finest. Really? No evidence at all whatsoever?
In extreme politics, when they've tried to throw Trump under the jail? Really? Really? Okay. Okay. In only 9 months, when they were investigating Trump for years? Okay. Interesting. Interesting. The double standard. I mean, it's crazy.
Okay, we'll get into that. What about the Treasury Department's nearly 150 suspicious activity reports, or that FBI's 1023 form that alleges, by the way, from a credible FBI source, credible defined by the FBI, who previously had paid this source hundreds of thousands of dollars, alleging that Joe Biden took official actions as vice president in exchange for a lot of money to enrich his entire family, all related to corruption allegations from the Bidens related to Burisma, that is the Ukrainian gas and oil giant. What about the 5,000 emails that Joe wrote under a pseudonym while vice president, including, by the way, we found a new account, AUKS, uncovered yesterday, despite the endless attempts by the Biden administration to block House Republicans. They have uncovered what is now amounting to a trove of evidence. Now, while they publicly dismissed the inquiry into Joe Biden, now, according to reports, the White House has been preparing for this moment. They knew it was coming. Reportedly building out an entire war room inside and outside of government, filled with spokespeople and legal experts to counter the investigations into both Hunter and Joe Biden. They have their work cut out for them, because evidence of Biden's wrongdoing is now quite overwhelming, and questions around the family's shady dealings, well, they need answers. Like, how did Hunter Biden, he was admitted to be an addict at the time, earn millions of dollars from foreign businesses and foreign countries with no relevant experience in the country or in the field of endeavor he's getting paid on? And according to the Johnson-Grassley report, he received, for example, $3.5 million from the former First Lady of Moscow, and then later $120 million investment in their real estate fund. They got the exact amount of money from a Kazakhstan oligarch, and that money was spent instantaneously on a brand new sports car by Hunter Biden. $100,000 for that international shopping spree with an associate of a CCP-backed Chinese energy firm. Millions of dollars for his work on the board of Burisma. He also demanded $10 million. Remember, I am sitting next to my father, from a Chinese business associate at a CCP-linked firm to, quote, further the interest of their joint venture. Now, House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer says the Bidens overall have taken in tens of millions of dollars from foreign entities in Russia, Ukraine, China, Kazakhstan, Romania, and many other countries through these shell companies allegedly used to conceal the source and the funds and reduce suspicion over the total amount. So, if it really is just...
Sheesh. My goodness. This is getting deep. But, there's one thing about all of this that nobody's really discussing. Listen, I think it's time we talk about it. Because there are a lot of rhinos in office currently, in my humble opinion. And I said this, was it yesterday maybe? Maybe yesterday. I don't remember. I said it recently. That I feel most Republicans in office are rhinos. Every single Republican sitting on their hands doing absolutely nothing is a rhino, in my humble opinion. Now, maybe I'm a lunatic for saying that. Y'all let me know. Don't let me go off the deep end. I told y'all, don't let me go off the deep end, all right? So if I'm talking crazy, y'all let me know in the comment section. Like, Rich, you going a little too far, all right? Reel it back in now. Let me know. Seriously, keep me in line, all right? If I'm going off, hey, come on back, brother. But yeah, every Republican that's sitting on their hands, in my humble opinion, is a rhino. Every single one. Y'all know what to do next election. I don't care what other Republican you vote for. It better not be the one that's in office. In my humble opinion, I think all these Republicans in office need to go. Everyone that's sitting on their hands, at least. But there is a group, or at least one, that is doing something about this entire situation. And I've touched on this individual, or spoken about this individual in previous videos. You guys might recognize him. I present to you, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Gaetz.
So why is McCarthy caving now? Well, perhaps because of Congressman from Florida, Matt Gaetz.
I rise today to serve notice. Mr. Speaker, you are out of compliance with the agreement that allowed you to assume this role. The path forward for the House of Representatives is to either bring you into immediate total compliance or remove you.
So you'll remember that nasty speaker election back in January. One of the many concessions that McCarthy made then to the far right of his party was to make it easier.
The far right. Oh, my goodness.
To boot him from his own job. And joining me now is Congressman Matt Gaetz. He's a member of the House Judiciary Committee. Thanks for being here, Congressman. First, I want to start with this. You're making some pretty serious threats against Speaker McCarthy's speakership. But let's be honest, it sounds like you don't have the votes.
The votes for what, Abby? To remove McCarthy? I acknowledge that, and I would suggest that when we first had the contest for Speaker, neither did he, but over the course of 15 ballots, it's amazing what can happen. So, look, my job is to see that the deal that we made in January is enforced. That's not about impeachment specifically. It's about oversight work, but it's principally about spending. McCarthy committed to have 12 individual appropriations bills passed. We don't seem on pace to do that, and I'm deeply concerned that he hasn't been faithful to that commitment.
Gotta love it, right? Big shout out to my brother from another, Matt Gaetz. This is one of the individuals that I've spoken about in a lot of videos. Matt Gaetz is a true Republican, in my humble opinion. This is a true Republican. Matt, he has his eyes closed in this image. It's not the greatest image in the world, but hey, y'all get it, okay? That is a true Republican. That is what all Republicans should be doing, holding people's feet to the fire, right? He didn't get violent. He didn't get all crazy and wild and start yelling and screaming and shouting and calling people's names. He said, hey, we had an agreement. I feel like you're not living up to that agreement. So I will possibly use what we agreed to, which was I could more easily get you out of here. And I may start that process. And you know what Kevin McCarthy did? Came out and said what he had to say.
If you do trigger this motion to vacate and it does fail, as it sounds like you think it will, don't these threats end up losing all credibility moving forward?
Well, it had a good deal of credibility today. I announced last evening that I'd be making a speech at noon today, and in somewhat of a rushed fashion, the speaker gave a speech at 11, and while that was a baby step, I think in the right direction, it certainly is not linked to the concerns that we have about spending, government funding running out, and the passing of a continuing resolution that advances a lot of the goals and priorities that Republicans ran against.
Interesting how that works, huh? Hey, I'm putting everybody on notice. I'm giving a speech at noon. Kevin McCarthy, an hour before he's supposed to give the speech. I am launching an impeachment inquiry. Oh! But these, the leftist media would like you to believe that people like Matt Gaetz have no power. Hey, big shout out to my brother, Matt Gaetz, man. Hey, don't you wish all Republicans were like this brother right here? Don't you wish all Republicans were like him? I know I can't be the only one who's like, please, make all Republicans like Matt Gaetz. Can we get them like Matt Gaetz? Can we? Can we vote some people in that are like Matt Gaetz, please? Matter of fact, whenever I, because I've been thinking about doing some interviews here on the channel. And if I do decide to do that, that's what I'm going to be asking folks. A couple questions surrounding Matt Gaetz. How do you feel about Matt Gaetz? How do you feel about him? Do you think he's a crazy lunatic? If they say yes, then hey, listen. Then I know who we should not vote for. But if you like Matt Gaetz, okay, I can rock with you. Do you want to, would you do some of the same things as Matt Gaetz? You better say yes, because if you say no, you in trouble. Because we don't want anybody in office that ain't like Matt Gaetz. Shout out to that brother, man. He's actually stepping up and getting things done. Now, I will say that hopefully, him and other Republicans actually exercise some strategy in this whole process. And I've stated this before because we want Joe on that ticket. Joe's easy competition. He's already losing. He's easy competition. So I don't want him kicked off of the ballot. I just want him exposed. So, you slow walk this process until it's too late for them to replace him with Kamala or somebody else, which I feel like they'd have to replace him with Kamala because of that's the monster they created. They have to have a person of color. And if they skip over that person of color, it's going to look really, really bad to their voter base. So, yeah, I want Joe and all of his downfalls on that ballot. So I feel like this process has to be slow walked and released, next year. This whole process needs to go to the shadow realm, right? Needs to get put back into the shadows for the next, 7 months, whatever it is, 6-7 months, and then let the floodgates open, next year at some point after the primaries, maybe, next June or something. Then you let the floodgates open. Let all of this information and corruption and all of that stuff come out when it's already too late for them to replace Joe. Or July. Maybe July. Then it's too late. They still got to push Joe out there. But what do y'all think? Maybe I'm a lunatic when it comes to that. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that thought process in the comment section. Do you think it should be slow walked? Because of what I stated there, Joe is the weakest opponent. I don't want anybody else but Joe. We can beat Joe. He's already beat. I mean, I've showed you guys the proof. He's already beat. So I want him on the ticket still. But I want to run up the score, so to speak, right? I want an absolute blowout game. I want the score to be 100-1. Okay? I want it so bad that they never attempt anything like this ever again. That's how bad I want it. That's how bad I want that score to be, you know, in terms of the election, right? I want it to be so ugly. Boy, you would have thought it was Halloween. But anyway, yeah, y'all let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Am I right? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think they should just come out with the information as fast as possible? Do you think they should slow walk it like I was stating there for strategic reasons? How are you guys feeling? Talk to me. Y'all stay safe out there, all right? Peace and love. I'm out.